Long ago, when the world was bright and full of stories, an evil wizard gained the power to touch the face of God. Narrativa, goddess of stories and weaver of our world, banished him to the void, but not before he stole a piece of her divine essence. With this newfound power, the wizard lay a dread curse upon all the world, the Glyph Purge, which struck from the minds of all mortals the knowledge of how to read and write. Now, all that stand between the Isle of Meotia and an age of endless ignorance are the bards, who tell stories of distant lands, exotic creatures, and brave heroes. This is one such tale.
I need to name my... Should I name my bike Biclops? Because I feel like I should now. Like, just put a stencil on it.
Beth, you absolutely need to name your bike Biclops. And hello and welcome to Challenge Rating 0, the latest and greatest Dungeons & Dragons podcast to hit the internet airwaves. I am Sam, your Dungeon Master. And I am joined, as always, by my longtime friends and adventuring companions.
Hello, I'm Brian, and I play Hector the Gatekeeper. And you could glue, like, 2 googly eyes onto the handlebars.
Ooh. But, like, okay. Well, it's a nice bike. I feel like googly eyes would just come off. Hey, I'm Beth, and I play Rilla Longshadow, and we're going to come up with a great plan for my new bike theme, which is Biclops. So,
Beth, the stuff before the intro's already in it. You're just repeating yourself. Alex, go.
Hey, guys. It's me. I'll be playing Ruger tonight. Moving on.
Nothing to add about Biclops, Alex? You don't have
anything
to weigh in about Biclops?
I'm just waiting for Triclops.
I think it needs a battering ram.
Sensible.
All kneel before Biclops and its googly eyes. And last but not least, on this bike improvement podcast, we have the man who calls himself Michael, but who we call Parker. Michael Parker playing the druid Zurabak. Say hi, Parker.
Hi, Parker.
Any design elements you wanted to add to Biclops here to kind of perfect this engine of destruction, Parker?
I mean, googly eyes nailed it.
That's all you need. That's all you need. Kingdoms will fall to these zany little plastic eyeballs. Who knows what to do with these things? You take a fistful of googly eyes to the grocery store, turn the whole goddamn world upside down. No one's gonna know what the fuck's happening. Tell you what, is that banana looking at me? I think it is. What do we do here? Dungeons and Dragons. We're here again for a tale of epic fantasy. We are once again recording from the actual super cool and totally professional studio of Audius Prime. My buddy Matt's studio, Audius Prime, who will be editing our show for the foreseeable future until he gets bored. Everyone say hi to Matt. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Matthew.
You know what you did.
Yeah. So
D&D.
My brain's a little fuzzy.
I thought
today.
Sam froze
My
for a
apologies.
second.
I was
Like, uh-oh.
we broke him.
That was my impression of freezing. I'm just still stuck on Biclops, I think.
It's a really good name, because Brian's very good at naming things.
If you put some PVC pipe duct tape to the front of Biclops, make a double barrel, you could launch bottle rockets out of that PVC pipe and have basically a rocket launcher on the front of your bike. If you do a Roman candle on there, that's a Gatling gun. And so you have a chariot of unlimited destruction at your disposal. Biclops, feared on every road.
And then you just can, to the back wheel on either side, can just get it to where you have sparklers sticking off the side.
And those are just for show. Those are just for show. They don't hurt anybody. They're just.
Are you kidding me?
Pretty.
Sparklers will melt your hand off. Those things are the most dangerous fireworks out there.
Sparklers are public enemy number 1. They're going to bring the fall of civilization, unless Biclops gets there first.
Biclops in theaters now.
Biclops coming to a streaming service near you.
Biclops, no road is safe. So anyway, now I have to make a stat sheet for that, and that's going to be the final boss of this game that we play. But until then,
Sam, they have a stat sheet. It's you could use commoner or warrior.
I'm not going to disgrace Biclops, the glory, the horrific destructive potential of Biclops by giving it a commoner class, Brian. Okay? I'm gonna have to make this thing from the ground up. But that's
besides which
for
we need
another
sequels to Biclops Enter the Void. Like that's movie one. But like, what happens after?
And then Biclops 3, Stranger Tides. Biclops 4, the Santa Claus. Just we'll get crazy with it. Anyway, we're here to tell a story with Dungeons and Dragons, and the dreaded Biclops will not be featured yet. But when last we left our heroes, Hector, Rilla, Zurabak, and the lawman Ruger Firehide found themselves on the volcanic isle of Garu in the Ashen Isles off the coast of Meosha. Having infiltrated this island, which is being patrolled by the nefarious pyromaniacs known as the Knights of the Pyre, our team had stealthed their way across the lush jungle skirting the towering, pitch-black volcano that dominated this island and made their way towards Skullsplitter Palace, the home of Queen Leticia Skullsplitter, Queen of the Ashen Isles, who rules this domain with an iron fist. They had snuck their way past several guards before ambushing a stray group of Pyre Knights, stealing their clothes and identities thanks to Rilla's excellent disguise skills and magics, and waltz right in the front door of Skullsplitter Palace. They witnessed the dark rituals taking place in the courtyard of Skullsplitter Palace, which is currently dominated by an enormous void spike. This horrific hole in reality is being fed the souls of the large animals that make the volcanic islands of the Ashen Isles their home, creating terrible void beasts that the Knights of the Pyre are using for mounts in a plan to equip them for land war back on the mainland. Our heroes made their way inside the palace proper, and using Zurabak as their fake prisoner, found themselves in the throne room of Leticia Skullsplitter herself, a deadpan and incredibly violent half-orc queen who bears a striking resemblance to our good friend Zurabak. She revealed herself to be a servant of the Stricken, and not only a member of the Stricken's cult, but so devoted to the dark arts learned in that organization that she was able to tear holes in reality herself. It was only after our heroes revealed to her that the current organization she was a part of was led not by the Stricken, but by the priestess who had usurped him, the Lord Deceiver. After feeling out her emotions on realizing that the organization she had devoted her entire life to was being led by an imposter, Leticia Skullsplitter allowed our heroes to continue on their quest, leading them down into the dungeons underneath the palace to allow them to harvest some obsidian from the channels of lava flowing underneath the palace into the mold given to them by the Stricken. When last we left off, Zurabak had just dipped his hand holding this leaden mold into the lava flow to form the dagger itself. So, we join our heroes now, deep in the heart of Skullsplitter Palace, in a sub-level. You are standing in a cavern of immense heat. On a far wall high above you, an enormous rent in the stone is expelling waves and waves of white-hot magma which flows through cut channels in the massive obsidian floor of this cavern. There are 3 of these channels, all separated by enormous and incredibly thick metal walls, and each of these channels has a gate that can cut off the flow of lava. One of these gates is down, and 2 of the gates are up, so there are 2 of these fat streams of lava roiling down the channels. The stone platform you're on has a twin on the other side of this river of lava. These platforms are connected by these iron walkways, which are suspended over the river of lava. There are also cages next to these walkways, which are used for lowering unfortunate prisoners into this torrent of magma. It is incredibly hot, sweltering. You're all sweating profusely, and you are down here disguised as Knights of the Pyre with Queen Leticia. Zurabak comes walking back from the lava stream holding the still dripping mold to form this dagger. What do you all do?
Stand there and look at each other.
You know what? I'll go first. That's fine. Zurabak, as you come back, Queen Leticia says, well, that was boring. Did you get what you needed?
Zurback shrugs.
Are you dripping lava as you walk? Because that's what the image I'm seeing in my head is Zurback just casually like walking with like lava coming off his hands, like.
Yeah, Zurabak's fist is lightly dripping bits of lava that rapidly cool on the stone beneath his feet as he walks towards you all. Thankfully, he cast a spell, resist energy. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, Rilla is just staring open mouth because, like, his hand should have melted off, right? So,
for sure.
I'm stunned.
For sure.
Like, fully stunned, not saying a word, like, what the fuck? I can't do that. Like,
Well, Ruger, I guess Zurabak got it.
Yep.
You're off the hook this time, bud. And then I just punch Ruger in the shoulder playfully.
Ow. And I was never on the hook, buddy. Never in your wildest dreams am I sticking my hand in lava. I don't know how many times I have to tell you.
Coward.
I agree. Anyway, you have your little knife thing. What else are you here for? You've completely shattered my entire understanding of my religion, so thanks for that. What else did you want to do here in the palace?
Now we just have to blow up the volcano.
no.
And we're good.
Nope.
No.
We do gotta do something about that void spike, though.
I still vote poison.
I mean, I'm kind of into this poison idea now that it's been proposed, not
okay.
gonna lie.
I'm a little concerned about the poison idea, but go on.
Can you all remind me, your dungeon master, about the quote-unquote poison idea? Because I do not remember this.
We just poison all the Knights of the Pyre out there, so we don't actually have to fight them.
Right, just feed them. They're already eating here.
His sister calls a meal or whatever, invites them all in, they eat poison, and we're done.
And we successfully leave this dungeon without having to fight anything, thwarting everybody's expectations.
When you bring up blowing up the volcano, Hector, Queen Leticia says, "That's my volcano. No one blows it up but me."
Well, I was going to agree with you up until that last part. How about we just say nobody blows it up?
Except for her. That's what we call foreshadowing.
We call it that?
Why do you want to blow up my volcano?
Have you seen the volcano?
It's the surest fire way to destroy that void spike.
They like walking away from explosions because they're idiots. Ignore them.
Please.
You want to stop the void spike outside?
Yep.
Zerback shrugs.
Yes.
I kick his bag. You should get Not Sebastian out for this.
Pretty sure he was already out.
Oh, was he?
He is.
Okay.
Yeah, Sebastian's down here in, sorry, the Stricken's down here with you. I am terrified by the precedent that's been set here because there's an NPC you guys literally carry in a sack, and I swear to God, it's getting to the point where every time you guys don't feel like explaining a plan, you make me explain it to myself. And I'm not hugely into that.
You did this.
Sam, we're just hitting the X button for the cutscene. Like, come on.
Just mashing the button.
For Christ's sake. It's like, why do you want to do this? I don't know. Sam, talk to yourself. Convince yourself to do it. Fuck. You look at the Stricken, Anthony Geist, whose diminutive gnome form is standing in this ring of people with you, and he says to the queen, the void spike represents a horrid perversion of the power of the void. Its bleeding into the tapestry is ruinous and could lead to the end of everything. Any true worshipper of the Stricken, any true follower of mine, would realize that the void is best left in the void. And the queen looks at you all and says, and shrugs. And it is as the queen shrugs, reminiscent of a very close friend of yours,
Who?
that you all hear a voice say, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe my good fortune. This is incredible. Oh, I couldn't have planned this better myself." And you all look the way you've come through the halls coming down here into this sub-level of the dungeon, and you see the rather gregarious figure that you saw outside. This woman wearing a brilliant gown of red and orange with a wide, like wire-backed collar shaped like flames behind her head, a burning halo hanging above her head, Conflagration, the leader of the Knights of the Pyre here, this incredibly powerful-looking human woman with this gorgeous flaming dress, approaches you all with 10 Knights of the Pyre in 2 ranks of 5 behind her. They all have their swords out, wreathed in flame, at the ready, and they all fall into a line on either side of her as she approaches you and comes to a stop and says, "My word! This is incredible. Here I thought I would have to delay my plans to take this island from you for at least a few more weeks, but here I find, my dear Queen Leticia, that not only has your island's native inhabitants been driven from their land, not only have my soldiers completely taken over the defenses of your castle, but I come here to find that you are by yourself, surrounded by my men," and she gestures to indicate you fuckers disguised as her goons, "and you've already put yourself in your own dungeon for me. I have to credit you with the ease with which you've delivered this island to me. Believe me, Queen Leticia, this island, this masterful example of the pure power of flame, will be much better off in the hands of the Knights of the Pyre than in the hands of some pirate queen."
This woman's going in the lava, ain't she?
Queen Leticia looks at you, Zerback, and says, Yeah, she's going in the lava. I'm sorry, Hector, did you have something?
I was gonna look awkwardly at my companions and shuffle behind Queen Leticia and pull out a pair of manacles.
I too brought manacles just in case a second set were required.
Are you going to try to put the queen in chains?
I am trying to non-verbally communicate with everybody else in the room that's on like our side that it's just like we're doing a thing.
Well,
What is the thing you're intending?
well, we're still in costume, so
So-
as best as
yeah,
we can tell, the conflagration still believes that we are, in fact, her subordinates.
Absolutely.
So perhaps by feigning that, we now
Except for Zurabak, who is not in costume. Just as an FYI.
But yeah,
Yeah.
he's a prisoner. Remember, he's definitely a prisoner.
He'll let you go ahead. You put the manacles on him.
Honestly, it's gonna be difficult either
Hector,
way.
I'm gonna help you out with this. As you get out some manacles and sort of like stare at your companions in the eyes and like sort of make motions to go over and put those on Queen Leticia, she stares daggers at you and takes a step back from you, and she turns her gaze at conflagration, and the burning halo above her head. And Queen Leticia says, with unbridled passion for a skull splitter, "You want my island? You want my volcano? You've come to take Garu? I am Garu." And as she says this,
Quick question, Sam.
yes.
How far away are they from the lava?
They're about 20 feet from the lava. It is river of lava, you guys on a stone pedestal, and then on the other side of you guys is them.
Parker, your sister's trying to do something cool. Shut up. I want to hear it.
No, she's gonna blow up a volcano. Don't interrupt her more.
Are they also on stone?
They are standing on stone, yes, Parker.
Okay. Well, when you're done with your thing, I want to do a thing.
Absolutely. It's fine. I'm going to cut out everything you just asked and move it later. Well, actually, I'm not going to do shit. Because I got a guy.
Hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. Where was I? Oh, yeah. She says, "I am Garu." And the dress that your sister was wearing, this regal gown covered in bones, top to bottom, including the skull of this exotic beast that rests atop her head, starts to shudder and then springs to life. The rib bones lining her bodice, the long bones trailing her skirts, the bones that are tied up in her dreadlocked hair, and this giant skull on top of her head leap off of her and form into this sharp-toothed, two-legged beast that rises up in front of her and silently bares its teeth at conflagration and her goons with the rattling of bones. Just as she summons this undead skeletal creature to her command. Zurabek, what you got?
I want to use stone shape and just lower where they're at and the lava and just make a ramp for the lava just to, lavatize them.
Lavatize them. Better not get any lava on me.
Let's see. I mean, that sounds like some cool shit to do for sure. Let's see. Stone shape, one standard action. You can form existing piece of stone. Let's see. 10 cubic feet plus 1 per level, so 18 cubic feet. You can change reshape a stone door to make an exit to make crude coffers. So it says.
Yeah, I don't think a ramp has much detail.
Yeah, that's sick. Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna let you get away with that. Because they don't know who the fuck you are, what you're about. I'm gonna let you get away with that, and then we're gonna roll initiative. So you cast Stone Shape. What does this look like?
Just the ramp lowers them down, and then the lower enough to get the lava to start flowing, and it just sort of does what lava does.
Okay, doing this, so the only thing standing between Conflagration and her goons and this lava is you and your companions. So, are you sloping the ground that you and your companions are also standing on to have the lava flow through you guys to the bad guys?
Sure.
Okay, great. Excellent. So, as Conflagration comes down here and decides to make known that she's making a fucking power play, Queen Leticia Skullsplitter summons all of the bones on the dress she's wearing into a terrifying fanged beast in front of her. And then Zurabak raises his hands, and the stone platform beneath your feet warps. It drops out from underneath you at an incline, and the lava that was safely behind you starts to flow in your direction towards these goons. Everyone roll me a reflex saving throw to see if you can dive out of the way of this lava.
God damn it.
Good luck, Ruger.
I swear to you that I rolled a 20 on this dice. I swear to you that I did this.
Oh, I should roll one for Snake
For a
too, I guess.
29.
Probably should.
I got a 17.
Snake, 3.5.
22.
Monster Manual.
Damn.
Huge Viper, +7. Snake got something in the 20s.
And what'd you get, Zurabak?
Hold on, I'm looking for my character sheet.
It's a good thing to have.
Yeah, it got
Usually
lost
before
in tabs.
we have the podcast going.
He just has to find the tab. There's a lot of tabs.
Let's see. 7 + 14 is math.
It's 21. Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic. You guys all made it. Excellent work. So, yeah, as Queen Leticia summons a skeletal animal companion to guard her, Zurabak drops the fucking floor out from under you. The stone platform drops a good, 5 feet, plummets, and turns into a ramp, and the lava boiling in the river behind you starts to ooze over the lip of this platform and dive directly down. I'm going to say this stuff moves not as one concentrated wave, but in a bunch of rivulets, and you all are able to dodge out of the way to avoid getting terribly burned by the oozing lava now cascading around your feet. Let's roll initiative.
Not great.
Oh, I should mark that spell off.
6.
Hector, what'd you get?
That would be 18.
Rilla?
17.
Zurabak?
Zurabak got a 9, and Snake got a 7 + 6.
13.
13.
Alrighty. Hector the Gatekeeper, Keeper of the Gates. You are first up. You are on a stone platform. Behind you is a river of lava. Before you are several Knights of the Pyre and their leader Conflagration. All around you now is flowing lava in rivulets running downward towards your enemies. It is your turn. What would you like to do?
How far away from me are they?
They're about 20 feet away from you. And just to reiterate, you are still in disguise as one of their goons, so do with that what you will.
Yeah, actually, for my first turn, I'm going to clumsily run over towards them, and try and just make it look like my intent is to save them from the lava. But that's not my intent. But
Okay.
I'm not gonna actually physically do anything to them yet.
Okay, so you want to make it look like you're forming up ranks on their side of things.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I'd say you don't get a roll for that. Yeah, you just kind of like stumble forward until you're standing amongst them, and you turn towards towards your companions, some of which are still in
I want to make
costume as
sure,
well.
like, that I'm not particularly in the path of the lava, you know?
Well, everyone's eventually going to be in the path of the lava. You can get closer to the bad guys, and then lava's going to happen at some point, or you can run to the side and get away from the lava. There's now a ramp cut into this platform that is oozing lava down directly at them. So,
Okay. I'll get closer to them, though.
okay. So yeah, Hector rushes forward, awkwardly, stumbling to form up ranks with the Knights of the Pyre, which should be interesting. They all give you a good hard look, and none of them are able to see through your disguise because Rilla did such a great fucking job. And then it's Hector's turn. Hector, I'll say you are in prime position if you want to fuck one of these dudes up. They will absolutely not see it coming. That makes it Rilla's turn. Rilla, you are also in disguise as one of the Knights of the Pyre. Lava behind you, bad guys in front. What do you do? Lava everywhere. What do you do?
Where is safety from lava?
If you run to the side, if you run sideways like in a good anime fight, for a little bit, you'll get out of the ramp that Zurabak cut into the stone platform you're on.
Let's see. I mean, that's my instinct. I think.
It's a pretty good instinct.
What's up? Let's see. I scoop up Not Sebastian and shout to the
Did you have him roll a reflex save?
Oh
Yeah, he's fine.
I scoop up Not Sebastian because he's light and little, and that way it looks
Yeah.
like I'm capturing someone, and then I run
Excellent.
sideways. I got one! Is what I shout, and I run away a little bit.
Excellent. Yeah. This is great. So yeah, really, you snatch up Not Sebastian, and still disguised as a Knight of the Pyre, you strafe. You run sideways to escape this ramp of lava that is underneath your feet at the moment. That makes it Snake's turn. Snake is disguised as a void beast. He is all done up to look like he has black eyes and a little ooze coming from his mouth. What does Snake do?
Well, while he does have the swim speed, I don't think I need him in lava. So he probably just meanders to the side a little bit.
Okay, yeah, Snake rushes off to the side to escape the lava ramp. And that makes it Zurabak's turn. Zurabak, you have shaped a portion of stone underneath you and the Pyre Knight's feet into a ramp. Lava is flowing down it towards your enemy. Hector has stumbled forward toward the bad guys. Rilla and the Stricken are off to the side. Your sister's right next to you. Your alleged sister is right next to you. What do you do?
Where's the one that liked to talk?
Conflagration is dead center 20 feet away from you.
All right, I'm gonna run at her and grapple her.
Oh, shit. Okay. Roll a touch attack.
Well, I rolled a natural 20 plus 11.
You absolutely get a hold of Conflagration. You rush forward.
Such a waste.
Grab him, and let's roll opposed grapple checks. As your hand touches Conflagration, you experience a pretty serious burn. Her skin and her dress are incredibly hot to the touch. You do have resistance, obviously, so you do none of the fire damage that a normal mortal would take by placing hands on her passes through to you because of your magical elemental resistance. But you can feel even through that resistance, there's some heat radiating off this woman, and she looks absolutely shocked and horrified that anyone has deigned to lay hands on her, and also surprised that you're not burning to ash.
28, and I whisper in her ear, "You're gonna drink some lava."
Let's see. 28. She got pretty fucking good, actually. She just barely beats you. I rolled a fucking 19, and she just barely beats you. You rush forward and lay hands on Conflagration. Their presence is hot enough to roast you alive if you aren't magically shielded, and you try to like fucking hip toss her, but unfortunately she is able to sinuously slip out of your grasp with a surprisingly deft like twist of her wrist and a shifting of her hips. She is able to slip out of your crushing grasp this time. She says, "How dare you lay hands upon the great conflagration? I am the divine channel of the eternal flame."
You're gonna drink a lot of lava. Your gaping mouth hole is very big.
Not a great sentence. That makes it Queen Leticia Skullsplitter's turn. She points a finger and says, "Kill." And the skeletal nightmare beast that she formed in front of her charges forward and snaps its jaws down on one of these Knights of the Pyre and picks it up off of its feet and starts shaking it like a rag doll. The Pyre Knight is batting at it with its long sword, but it can't find any flesh to burn. It's just clanging around at this skeletal creature's rib cage. The queen herself looks at Zurabak and says, maybe, just maybe, I might blow the volcano just to see them burn. And she turns away and starts making her way to one of these iron walkways that make a bridge over this river of lava behind you. That is going to make it Ruger Firehide's turn. Ruger, you got a river of lava behind you. You got Knights of the Pyre in front of you. There's lava running underneath your feet in this big-ass ramp.
Yeah, I don't like any of that. So, question.
Yes.
How far ahead of me is the cluster of what, like the conflagration, and how quickly is the lava moving towards her? Like, how quickly, if I move to that group, could I expect the lava to be on us?
Conflagration's 20 feet away from you. The second it gets to their turn, which is right after yours, they're going to be rolling dex saves for this lava as well.
Then I'm going to be real with you. I think Ruger's biggest instinct is to get away from the lava. I can't help but believe that that's the fact. So I think Ruger is going to move off in the direction of Rilla and her sack. And as I run in that direction, I'm going to yell out, conflagration, this way! Trying to keep up the facade.
Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, let's see if they can see through your disguise. No one can see through your fucking dope-ass Rilla-made disguises. Yeah, so you rush over to the side. You're like, hey, conflagration over here. Excellent. So yeah, you are now standing next to Rilla. The two of you are to the side and out of the line of lava, which is awesome. And now, so that's the end of round one of the bad guys have to go. But so yeah, Ruger and Rilla, you guys are off to the side in the clear out of this ramp. Hector and Zurabak are dead center, facing the Knights of the Pyre in the ramp of lava, and the queen is making her way over one of these walkways. That's going to make it the bad guy's turn. Conflagration is going to scream, Pyre Knights, shield up! And you see all of these knights like bow their heads and their bodies become wreathed in fire, as well as their swords. And then Conflagration, for her for her turn, she is going to take a step backwards, hold up a small mote of flame over her extended palm, turn her palm over and just drop it on the ground. And just as this lava laps up against her and her knights, sort of sloshing into them in this horrific, like, white hot flow, she casts Fireball. So Zurabak and Hector, you two are going to have to roll me reflex saving throws against a Fireball spell, just as this lava lashes up against the...
Oh, I wouldn't have taken lava damage, because at 7th level it becomes 20 points.
Okay. I mean, you wouldn't have taken it anyway, because you're immune to lava if you have resistance, but that's fine.
23.
23 is pretty good.
I'm very glad I moved out of the way of the lava. And
Yeah, you should be.
subsequent flame on moment and then a fireball, so...
Is this poison or fey?
Parker, don't waste my fucking time.
That's all I'm here for. 22.
Yeah, you both get the reflex saving throw. Nicely done. Let's see. So you all are you two get in the pit and try to love someone, and so this wave of lava smashes into the knights, who are now wreathed in flame and seem to be they are definitely burning. Like, you see curls of smoke rise up from the leather of their boots and the cloth of their pants as this lava starts to wash over them, but they stand resolutely in this molten lava and they don't even flinch. And then Conflagration drops this fucking fireball, an enormous eruption of red hot flame explodes right in your faces. And I gotta roll a bunch of d6s. Give me just 1 sec.
I muttered to Ruger, we probably blew our cover.
I'm ready to shoot somebody.
Yeah, my best spell is unfortunately also Fireball, so, like, don't think that's gonna do much.
You got a bow, don't you?
Yes.
So this fireball does 34 points of damage. Hector and Zurabak, you take half that. So that is, 17 points of damage. So Zurabak, with your resistance spell, you take none. Nice. This fireball explodes, singeing you a little bit. The Pyre Knights wreathe themselves in flame and get their weapons up, and that is the bad guy's turn. They are standing like shin deep in a lava flow, just bearing it, and they set off a fireball to fuck up Zurabak right in front of them, and that is the bad guy's turn. So that's going to bring us back to the top of the order. Hector, it's your turn. What do you got?
Wait, repeat that damage again?
17.
17.
17.
All right. Now, can you repeat it like more sensually?
17.
Ew.
Ooh!
So like the lava is pretty much on top of us now, right?
Yep.
Not on me.
God damn it, I'm a melee range fighter.
I understand. I am too, really.
You know what? You know what, Brian? Thank you so much for reminding me about that, because at this point, this is where it's pooling. Zurabak actually can't take damage from this, but that's 3 points of lava damage. Thank you for reminding me, Hector. You take 3 points of lava damage because there's lava down here now.
Cool, I'm just gonna be like that guy in the subway from Volcano that melts from the foot feet up.
Yep.
What do you got, Hector? You are amongst the Knights of the Pyre. They're all looking at you a little weird because you don't have a shield to hide behind or a flaming longsword. So they're giving you the side eye. It's like, I remember Larry having a giant stone hammer. That's weird.
Wait, I thought they did have the swords. We had the swords.
Yeah, but we don't know how to turn them on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Hector, what do you got?
How far away am I from the conflagration?
Dude, you're right there. You spent your turn going up to them. They're right there.
He's just double checking.
Making sure. Fuck it, I'm gonna spend at least one round just hitting shit.
Yep. Yes. Wade into them, Hector.
As the flames lick over my body, I get pissed the fuck off. This shit's hot. And so I'm gonna rage. And then I'm gonna full attack the conflagration.
As the horrific blast of this fireball ripples over Hector's body and the molten lava eats away at his legs, he leaps into a barbarian rage and swings his oversized hammer into his enemy. Who are you swinging at? Conflagration?
Yeah.
Okie doke.
Does 26 hit?
A 26 does in fact hit.
Does a 19 hit?
A 19 does not hit.
Damn. Alright. 18 points of damage.
Fantastic. You smash your hammer into the body of Conflagration, the leader of the Knights of the Pyre. You crumple a bit of the stiff copper wire collar of her gown, which bends in from the force of your blow. But as you hit her, that fiery halo above her head pulsates, and a wave of flame washes over you as you make contact. You're going to take 4 points of fire damage. As the flames around her lick at you. And yeah, you catch her completely by surprise. No idea that it's coming. The second blow goes a little wide. She's able to duck under it the last second as the flames sort of dance in your vision. Yeah. And do you move at all or stay where you're at in the thick of shit?
I mean, that was a full round attack.
Okie. That is Hector's turn. Dropping the ruse and going for conflagration. Rilla, it is your turn. What would you like to do? Your friends are in a trench filled with lava. Oh, go ahead.
Would I still have sneak attack damage if I attack now, or is it like the gig's up? Like,
I'd give you a sneak attack. Neither you nor Ruger have been hostile to conflagration yet. So I'd say you guys still have the ruse. They haven't seen through your disguise yet, and you haven't done anything hostile. I'd give you a sneak attack.
I mean, I might as well use it, right? It still works on
For
range,
sure.
yeah, within like 30 feet or some shit.
Absolutely.
Cool, I'm going to try.
Who are we shooting?
I pull out one of my shocking grasp arrows because they have lightning damage, and I try to hit conflagration.
Excellent. Roll an attack roll. I'll say they're flat-footed against you.
It's probably not, an 18?
Unfortunately.
I don't hit.
Yeah, unfortunately, an 18 is not going to be quite enough. You line up a shot and fire. There is a heat shimmer around conflagration at this point, and as your arrow, crackling with lightning, leaves your bow and darts towards them, the air around conflagration seems to bend and warp a bit, and the arrow goes wide like a half inch around her head. It is a very near thing.
Cool. I move 30 feet back, like, well, and get the fuck away from that.
You don't want to try to sell it like you were aiming for Hector? Or Zervac?
Cool. Nah, that's not gonna work. I don't think. Right.
So Rilla fires a shot and then tactically retreats. That brings it to Snake's turn. Snake is off to the side with Rilla and Ruger. What does Snake do?
I mean, I guess he jumps in the pit.
It's just gonna fucking jump in that pit?
I mean, yeah, we have to share a spell.
Okay. Well, then I don't know why he didn't jump in the pit to begin with.
Yeah,
all
because
right.
I forgot about it.
Yeah, you did. Any spell that Zurabak casts on himself, he can target on his animal companion at the same time. So his animal companion also has resistance to fire, a very useful spell in this particular fight. So your snake slithers forward, drops into the pit. I will say it's close enough to bite somebody. What is it? Who's it going for?
Whoever he doesn't like.
Closest Pyre Knight. Roll an attack roll.
Does a... Hold on, gotta go to snake. +6. Does 25 confirm a critical?
A 25 does confirm a critical hit.
All
Parker,
right,
for the sake of our listeners, I'd really appreciate it if you showed any excitement or enthusiasm whatsoever when you actually rolled the critical. Because that's a nice momentous occasion.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I guess too.
He's got a con save of 14.
As your horrifically venomous viper slithers its huge form down into this pit, it lashes out at one of these Knights of the Pyre, sinking its fangs right into this fucker's neck. I got an 18 on a fortitude save.
He should be good. He takes 16 points of damage.
Excellent. Yeah, your snake bites this dude right in the neck, forcing him like backwards half a step. The fire surrounding this knight's form would burn your snake if it wasn't for that fire resistance. So, yeah, your serpent is lolling about in like a foot of lava, just lashing out at these knights, completely ignoring their fiery auras. Very good shit. That's gonna make it Zurabak's turn. Zurabak, you're right in front of conflagration. You're in a bunch of lava. You're fighting Pyre Knights. What do you do?
Yeah, we're gonna grapple again.
Fantastic.
She's drinking lava.
Roll an attack roll.
It's that one. 23 to touch.
23 is enough to get hands on conflagration. Opposed grapple checks.
29.
I got 26. You are the victor. You can do damage, like an unarmed strike against conflagration if you so choose.
Yeah,
once again,
D3.
Once again, as you lay hands on conflagration, you are blasted by heat like a furnace washing over you. The magic you have cast upon yourself to resist this damage does much to relieve you of this. But yeah, the heat is still pretty fucking gnarly.
8 points of subjugal damage.
Fantastic. Cool. You are grappling. Conflagration. You move up into their square, grab a hold of them, and yeah, you've grabbed them by their wrists, and they are once again absolutely
The unarmed
enraged.
damage is a bite.
For sure.
He just bites her.
Okay.
Mike Tyson's it, bites her ear.
Great. Excellent. Yeah, you clamp your jaws down on conflagration, and they shriek in rage. It is Leticia Skullsplitter's turn. The queen. The beast she summoned, made of bones, continues to lash out at the Knight of the Pyre that its jaws are wrapped around. It is slamming this motherfucker against the stone wall of this ramp that you've cut into the platform, and this motherfucker is screaming. And as you watch, this thing crunches its jaws and throws this motherfucker face down into the lava, dead. It's one shining armor crumpled in on itself, and this skeletal creature standing on two legs with its massive head balanced by a long tail, crouches down low as if to pounce once more. The queen themselves has reached the beginning of one of these walkways that goes over this river of lava, and she starts slowly strolling her way up the few steps and across this walkway. You can see on the other side of this river of lava is this enormous construction of gears and huge chains that seem to be collected in some elaborate mechanism that leads to these gigantic slabs of metal hanging over these rivers of lava, as if to cut off the flow. That is what the queen's doing. Ruger Firehide, it is once again your turn. Last turn you tried to stay under cover. You have strafed to the side out of the lava ramp.
A couple of quick technical questions. How far away
Yes.
are they? The Knights of the Pyre in conflagration?
They're about 30 feet away from you at this point because you ran a little off to the side.
Okay.
Zurabek's right in their face. Conflagration is fighting Zurabek and Hector toe-to-toe.
Yep.
And there's like 10 Knights of the Pyre, 5 on either side of them. 5 and 4. And then there's also like a skeletal monster that was summoned by the queen.
And are
all in this horrible lava pit.
Are they all human?
There's a smattering of humans and elves.
All right, so I'm gonna take a shot at one of the Knights of the Pyre.
Sure.
A human one within 30 feet. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and take advantage of that point blank shot as well. Well, let's see. So, flat 20, dirty 20.
That is absolutely a hit on this Pyre Knight.
Fantastic. And so, since he's human, he is a favored enemy of mine. So, bonus damage. Including point blank shot, extra damage as well. That's 11 points of damage.
Excellent. Yeah, you line up a shot with your crossbow. You aim and fire, and your crossbow bolt streaks through the air and slams into this Pyre Knight's shoulder. The kick from it crunches the corner of their breastplate into their flesh, and you catch them completely off guard, knock them back a step, and their eyes swing to you, and they point a sword in your direction and shout, "Betrayer!" And 2 knights on either side of him turn their swords towards you as well. Anything else on your turn?
So Rilla ran back 30 feet, like, away from me, is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
I'm tempted to also back away from... I'm a little concerned about what the queen is getting down to here with all this. So I think I too am going to use my move action to slowly start to move towards Rilla.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you move towards Rilla, off to the side. So yeah, you guys are away from the fighting in this stone ramp that Zurabak made. There's now nothing between you and the tunnel that leads to the surface, and to your back is still the river of lava. You guys are kind of strafing. So yeah, that is going to make it the Pyre Knight's turn once more. 3 of these dudes are going to break off. 3 of these dudes that were pointing their weapons at Ruger are going to break off, scramble up over the lip of this lava ramp, and they are going to charge.
Do they provoke attacks of opportunity from either Hector or Snake?
No, they're off on the flank.
The other side?
Yes. They're going to get up over and charge at Ruger and Rilla. So we got 3 Knights of the Pyre on you guys. So yeah, they charge forward, screaming about the eternal flame with their flaming longswords held high. 2 of them are going to swing at Ruger on this charge. Let's see. I've got to stop putting my books down. I need all my books open at once. Does the 23 hit your armor class, Ruger?
Sure does.
All right. You are going to take Let's see. 8 points of regular damage, and then 4 points of fire damage. I believe you have resistance to fire cast upon yourself.
Correct.
So that fire damage can be ignored. Another guy swings on you as well with his flaming longsword Ruger. That's even higher. That's a 26. So that is going to be 10 points of regular damage, and then 3 points of fire, which you can ignore. And one of these dudes is going to swing at Rilla Longshadow with a flaming longsword. That is going to be a 22 on an attack roll. Is that your armor class, Rilla?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So you are going to take 11 points of regular damage and 5 points of fire damage.
That is substantial.
Yes, it is. These guys are not fucking around. And that is those three. One of them is dead. There's 9 left, so 3. One over there. So yeah, 3 more of these fuckers are going to try to cut Hector in half as he's assaulting their boss, the Conflagration. Let's see. Wow, okay. Well, the first one rolled, let's see, I got a 14, I got a 13, and then I got a 20 to hit you. Do any of those hit?
The first and third do.
Okie dokie. So you get hit twice with some flaming longswords. The first one is 5 points of slashing and 4 points of fire. The second one is 7 points of slashing and 5 points of fire. And then these fuckers, let's see. Yeah, a couple of these fuckers are going to rush the giant. Actually, let's...
Snake or skeleton?
Yeah, the other ones fuck with snake and the skeleton. 2 of these motherfuckers are gonna swing at the skeleton, and one of them's gonna swing at snake, and these motherfuckers all missed. How the shit?
I don't know.
Does a 12 hit snake?
Ooh, 12 hits Zerback, but not snake.
Okay, great. Awesome. So that happens there. And then the person you are grappling, Zerback, Conflagration, as you are holding them, transforms in your grip. And you realize that you are no longer holding a human woman dressed in incredibly fine flame-themed clothing. You are now standing before a humanoid form made of flame. The fiery halo on top of their head expands and slips down over them, and as it does, Conflagration's body becomes less substantive and turns into a giant roiling flame. She is now a fire elemental. A huge fire elemental stands before you.
Well, that puts a real damper on the drink lava plan.
Yeah, it does. Yes, it does. And yeah, they...
Can I do a spellcraft check?
For what now?
Was that a spell?
That was not a spell. That was a special ability.
Can I roll a spellcraft to see if it would be dispellable by, say, dispel magic?
Sure, yeah, you can.
Zerback really wants her to drink that lava.
For sure.
What is my spellcraft? Does 19 get anything?
You can tell that this effect is keyed to the flaming halo above her head, which seems to be an actual object. In her current form, there is a spinning disc of brighter flame sort of embedded in the chest of this huge fire elemental that seems to be the key to this transformation. And also just like a major part of her power in general. But yeah, as you are holding Conflagration, her form turns insubstantial. She becomes a gigantic, towering, bipedal flame, and yeah.
So she's not breaking my grapple, though.
Well, can you hold on to her? That's what I'm looking at right now. It doesn't say she's insubstantial, so I guess not.
Yeah, I think we're still grappling.
Yeah, you're still grappling. But yeah, you're now where you were like biting the shoulder of this person, you're now like biting the shin of a huge elemental that's towering over you. And that is the bad guy's turn. Hey there, listeners. It's Sam, your Dungeon Master, and I have some exciting news. We here at Challenge Rating Zero have our very first sponsor, Apotheosis Comics and Lounge. Find them on South Grand or at their new location on Cherokee Street. Or, for those of you listeners not living in St. Louis, Missouri, find them at shopapotheosis.com. Voted St. Louis's best comic book store twice over by the Riverfront Times, Apotheosis Comics and Lounge should be your one-stop shop for comics, graphic novels, D&D swag, and more. Not only can you find the latest titles from your favorite superheroes, but you can do so with a cold, locally sourced beer from your favorite St. Louis breweries. That's right. Not only can you find comics and cold beers at Apotheosis Comics and Lounge, but you might also come across yours truly, running one of my favorite role-playing games, Dungeons & Dragons. Apotheosis Comics and Lounge, the latest and greatest sponsor of the latest and greatest D&D podcast, Challenge Rating Zero. Check them. So we've got some Pyre Knights chasing after Ruger and Rilla. We've got some Pyre Knights trying to gang up on Hector. We've got some Pyre Knights being distracted by the party pets. And then, conflagration has just turned into an even larger conflagration. And that's going to bring us back to the top of the order. To Hector. Hector, it's your turn.
I don't want to be down here anymore.
It's real bad in the fire pit that Zurabak made. I'm surprised any of you decided to go down in it. But yeah, it's bad in here. The theme for this one, guys, was fire. I don't know if that came through.
Nope.
It's not good. So I'm gonna full retreat.
Fuck yeah, you are. A tactical withdrawal from our party barbarian. Because even a barbarian knows that when a lady turns into a fucking 10-foot tall column of fire, it's time to maybe get the fuck out of there.
While you're knee deep in lava?
While you're knee deep in lava. By the way, you are knee deep in lava. Thank you for the reminder. Okay, that's 2 points of damage. I rolled very low for that damage.
Apparently all my equipment's protected with the spell.
It's good. Hector, did you say you're dead?
No, I'm good. I'm fine.
Okay.
On the inside.
You can't do that to me.
I mean, fine is a bit of an overstatement, but I'm up.
All right, so you are up and out of this. You use your turn to tactically withdraw. You are up and out of this murder pool. And away from the bad guys.
I would say, I guess, like I get out and kind of move to a wide flank on the bad guys that have stepped out and are going after my friends.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you set yourself up well to engage with those motherfuckers. So you jump up out of the pit and you rush the Pyre Knights that are trying to pin down Rilla and Ruger. Fantastic. So that is your turn. That's going to make it Rilla's turn. Rilla, there's a Pyre Knight right in front of you. He just cut you with a flaming sword. There's two more fighting Ruger right next to you. What do you do?
Will a 5-foot step allow me to get away without taking damage?
Yeah.
Cool. I 5-foot step and then move whatever is left in movement. 25 feet, I guess?
That's not how that
your
works.
Your 5-foot step
work?
is your movement.
If you...
Okay. Fuck.
You can only use a 5-foot step.
It's been a while since I've seen a goddamn map. Okay.
Full retreat.
That's fine. You can only take a 5-foot step to get away from someone if that's the only movement you do that turn. So you would take a 5-foot step and then cast a spell or some shit. But
Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I 5-foot step back, because that was a significant chunk, and I don't have any protection from fire.
Sure.
Cool. Is there a 20-foot radius spread that doesn't include Hector or me or Ruger, where I can drop a fireball on these motherfuckers? I probably shouldn't say that.
Yes, you can. You can absolutely drop a fireball on them. I would
They're going to have fire resistance.
reiterate that your character is fully aware that these motherfuckers had no problem tanking actual lava and fires their whole bag. So
I get that, but they did take damage, right? Like, it hurt them, just not significant. I have nothing else that's going to hit a bunch of them. My only other option is, like, I mean, I can run away or I can magic missile them, you know? And I just don't know if magic missile is going to do that much damage compared to a fireball, even if they have resistance to it. You know what I mean? And maybe that's a little metagamey of me.
No, it's entirely your call. I'm just saying, like, these guys have significant resistances to fire.
Fine, fuck it. I'll drop 4 fucking magic missiles on them. I'm gonna drop them all on whoever's trying to hit me or can reach me on the next round. So I guess the one dude who's attacking me, right? Because the other 2 are focused on Ruger.
For sure.
Okay, so I 5-foot step, and I don't have to... 14 points of damage on that dude.
Damn.
Is what that does.
That's what we call the old wizard shotgun move.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, this Knight of the Pyre rushes forward and slashes you with the sword. You hop back as you get cut, throw out a hand, and 4 magical bolts of arcane force shaped like well-crafted elven arrows. Or no. Is that what they're shaped like? I was forget.
Yeah, they're shaped like arrows, yeah.
Yeah. Explode out of your extended palm and smash into this Pyre Knight, denting their armor and rippling up their body. They let out a cry of pain and are definitely fucking hurt by that for sure. They like double over in pain and surprise as they are just fucked up by this magic missile. And that is your turn. That's gonna bring us to Snake. It is Snake's turn. I believe he was chowing down on a Pyre Knight.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell Snake to ignore that and have him join the grapple with me.
Okay, nice. Roll a touch attack for Snake.
He doesn't need to get the touch attack because we're already grappled. He just rolls opposed against one of the subjects, which would be her.
Okie dokie.
Snake is huge, so his grapple bonus is just better than mine. 30-something.
I got 29, so you win.
And I guess he bites her?
Yeah, I guess so. Your loyal venomous serpent rushes forward and sinks their jaws into Conflagration, who has turned into an enormous elemental, and wraps its body around. I don't suppose
a 14 hits. Even with denied dexterity bonus. Oh wait. I just do damage because I won the grapple, right?
Yeah. Well, you do damage for an unarmed strike. If you wanted to use natural weapons, you have to roll an attack roll.
Yeah, and he doesn't have unarmed strike, so yeah. So he wouldn't do damage then.
Yeah. Your snake rushes forward and throws its body against Conflagration's now massive flaming form. And so now, like, you're biting one of its shins, and your snake is wrapped around the other shin as you guys are splashing around in a lava pit. Just having a great time. Conflagration looks incredibly pissed. And that is Snake's turn. Zurabak, it is your turn.
Is the thingy snatchable?
It is inside this creature, so not really. You can't quite get to
So pin her first?
it. You would have to carve it out of her. So yeah, pinning would be a good start. Yeah.
Well, then we're gonna roll the pin.
Okie dokie. Opposed grapple checks as you try to use your weight to pin this elemental.
27.
I got a 33. Grapple checks a lot better when you're a huge elemental. I got 33.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you try to like throw yourself backwards with your jaws clamped on their shin to throw them off balance, and they start to shift slightly, but they wrench their leg back at the last minute and stay on their feet. But yeah, you and your snake are locked in this like titanic struggle as you are shielded magically from the fury of the incredible flames that are raging around you, the lava underneath your feet, and scales as you literally go.
Zerback's just shouting, "Drink the lava!"
God damn. What a terrifying scene. It's really funny to me that Hector had to fucking bug out, because it's like, this is a bad scene, man. I can't do any of this shit. That brings us to Leticia Skullsplitter. Her skeletal beast is going to keep assailing some of these Pyre Knights left here in the shit with you guys. Is going to... holy shit. Wow. Okay, yeah, it's going to snap its jaws on one of these Pyre Knights' legs and rip it off of its feet and, like, slam one of its giant taloned skeletal legs and, like, stomp it down on this motherfucker's back. And almost as if it was taking your advice, Zerback, it's drowning this motherfucker face first in the lava.
Runs in the family.
Yeah, it does. This skeletal creature is... You can tell it's enjoying itself.
The skeleton creature is my family now.
You can tell this thing is enjoying itself just from, like, its, you know, body language. Like, it's absolutely enjoying itself. The Queen Leticia Skullsplitter herself is halfway across this walkway, which is suspended over this river of lava, heading ever closer to this giant expanse of cogs and chains and machinery that is on the far side of this chamber. She seems to be taking her sweet-ass fucking time. And every once in a while, she, like, looks over her shoulder to see how the fight's going and seems to, like, nod slightly and then continue on her merry way. That is going to bring us to Ruger Firehide. Ruger, you are kind of back to back with Rilla. You've got two Pyre Knights trying to carve into you and one trying to carve into Rilla. What do you do?
So remind me of the rules in regards to me pulling out my battle axe and hand axe as opposed to the heavy crossbow I'm currently holding.
To be quite honest, I have not been using the rules for drawing weapons this whole fucking game. I just let Hector get off some shit, attacking someone twice without having his weapon drawn. So just get a full attack in on this homie. I don't give a shit. You drop your crossbow, you draw your weapons, you get all your attacks.
My next question is, are these homies, the two in front of me, are they a human, humans, human and elf? What are we looking at here?
The two motherfuckers in front of you are both humans. One of them is the dude you shot with a crossbow bolt. The dent in his armor is still there.
Fantastic. So then, yeah, we'll do a full round attack, which is 4 attacks.
So yeah, you drop your crossbow, draw your axes, and go to work in a whirlwind of chopping and slicing. Roll them attack rolls.
Okay, so then remind me, is it battle axe, hand axe, battle axe, hand axe?
Nope.
Battle axe, hand axe, hand axe.
You do your main hand weapons and your offhand weapon.
Okay, so then the first one is a 23.
That's a hit.
Then I am going to roll... Should I just roll damage, I guess, first?
If you want to.
Well, I mean, I assume it would make a difference if he dies. Wow, that's minimum damage. So, with the +4 because he's human, that's going to be 8 points of damage on my first hit with a battle axe. And then,
alrighty.
Second hit, Well, that's pretty good. 21 to hit.
21 is a hit.
Yay! So then I'm gonna roll more damage. That one's better. So there'll be 12 points of damage on the second hit. And then I am gonna go ahead and swing the hand axe.
Yep.
21 to hit. So that's a hit.
Absolutely.
D6. It's not so great. 9 points of damage on that one. And then for my final hit, that's probably not going to be a hit. 14.
14, unfortunately, is a miss, but with those first 3 hits, so as you drop your crossbow and pull your axes in response to these terrible slashes you've got from these Pyre Knights, you carve into your opponent, cleaving into their breastplate, working your way past their shield, hooking it down to get past their guard, and you slash their throat with that last swing of your hand axe. Their eyes widen in surprise as you work your way past their shield, as you've trained to do in the field for years. You know the fighting tactics of these fucking knights. You know you hook the shield, you slash the throat, and this motherfucker goes down in a gurgling heap at your feet. Nicely done. You have dispatched one of these Knights of the Pyre.
I turn menacingly towards the second one. But otherwise, I do believe that completes my turn.
Excellent. Nicely done. That makes it the bad guy's turn. Let's see. There is one in front of Rilla that just got blasted with some magic missiles. He is going to press the attack. That's going to be a hit. That's in the 20s. So this motherfucker advances with their flaming sword. That's not the right dice. That is going to be 7 points of regular damage and 3 points of fire damage. As they advance on you and give you another slice with their flaming longsword, shredding through your robes, I guess. No, your your robes.
Yeah, I'm in that lady's robes for sure.
Yeah, the scarlet and yellow effigy robes. So yeah, they slice you up a little bit. There is one motherfucker in front of Ruger Firehide. Let's see if they get any traction. That is a miss. They get a 12 on their attack roll. I'm guessing that's not a hit, Ruger.
That's correct.
All right. So that leaves... So there's 2 Pyre Knights by Rilla and Ruger. That leaves 5 Pyre Knights in the pit, fighting Zurabak and Snake and the Bone Monster. Yeah, these 3 of these fuckers are gonna try to kill Snake. Let's see. That's a miss. And that's a... Does a 15 hit Snake's armor class?
I just had it. Where to go? Yes.
Okay, that's a hit. Hit. All right, so that's 3 hits against Snake. As these Pyre Knights see that their beloved conflagration is being desecrated by the touch of these ne'er-do-wells. So it's going to be... I'm not even going to give you the fire damage because it doesn't matter. It's 9 points of sword damage from the first swing. That is 3 points of damage for the second swing. And that is 9 points of damage for the third swing against Snake.
All right.
Two of these fuckers are fighting the Bone Monster, and they suck shit. Yeah, they're not doing great. And then the dreaded the dreaded conflagration, forgive me. The dreaded conflagration is going to do a slam against Zurabak. So yeah, she's gonna try to slam the shit out of you, Zurabak. That's a critical. Rolling to confirm.
It probably confirms.
Yeah, that's a 28 to confirm.
So it's not hard to hit Zurabak.
No, it's not. So, yeah, as you are gripping onto the fiery form of conflagration as she is taking the shape of this elemental. She brings one of her fiery limbs up into the air and brings it crashing down right on your skull. You feel the crushing impact of this beat down on you. Let's see. So that is 28 points of bludgeoning damage. Not enough fire damage to matter with your resistance. So yeah, you take 28 points of bludgeoning damage as this elemental slams its fist down on top of you. As conflagration brings down its massive fiery limb to bash you in the side of your head, Zurabak, ringing your bell a little bit, you all hear the sounds of boots on stone. And as you look to the tunnel that led you through the dungeons and into this subterranean chamber, to this river of lava, you see ranks of men and women in shining breastplates moving into this chamber as a wave of a dozen more Knights of the Pyre start spilling into the room. And that is where we will end.
Ruh-roh.
Hello and welcome to As the Dice Turns, a podcast after the podcast, where we take a deep dive into our player characters' personalities, their frustrations, characterizations, and try to get a better understanding of them as people. In this segment of our show, we like to ask each of our protagonists a question and see if we can't unearth some deeper truths about them. The question for today is, if you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be? Our characters are complex people with rich histories that have accomplished much in the time we've gotten to know them, and they have many fascinating traits. I'm curious to see what parts of themselves they'd like to change if they had the ability to. Now, today's episode is a little different. Well, I guess we'll just get to it as we go. First up, we've got Rilla Longshadow. Rilla, it's great to see you. I'm sorry it's under these circumstances. I understand that you're being held in custody by the Roomba High Command because of the court-martial you received. Is that correct?
Yeah. I'm still not even sure how that is a thing, but yes, they have constructed a fucking prison in your recording studio, so that's fun, I guess.
Yeah, I think thematically we've gone a bit too far in the order sort of framework after the chaos that was Zurabak's remodeling. I also don't know how the fuck these Roombas gained a level of sentience and have sort of conjured up a military command structure. Luckily, I'm sort of flying under the radar so far. But I'm sure we'll get this all figured out before they...
Have you seen their flag yet? They have a flag now.
The Roombas have a flag. I don't think I've seen the flag. What's the flag, Rilla?
It appears to be a Roomba. I don't know if you'd call it a hand, but it's almost like an extension cord as a whip held by a Roomba. It's disturbing on like a field of red.
That's severely problematic, I will say. Very authoritarian. Wow. Okay. You know what? Actually, I see that now. Sharon, did you knit that flag? Sharon, you can't. Hold on. Sharon, you can't knit stuff like that, Sharon. Wow. That's not okay. That's okay. Obviously this has gone way too far. We'll get this figured out, I'm sure, before the trial. The question for today, if you can bring yourself to answer these questions, maybe distract you from your situation. If you could change one thing about yourself, barring the Roomba police state I've allowed us to wander into in my recording studio, if you could change one thing about yourself, Rilla Longshadow, what would it be?
So I can't just say my ever meeting you host. That can't be my answer, unfortunately.
Rilla, we've done good work here in this studio. The fans love it. The listeners really enjoy getting to know more about you. I enjoy learning more about you, and I think we can all agree there's something a little therapeutic about this process, wouldn't you say? Sometimes you have to save me from horrific dungeons, and sometimes there's a Roomba police state, but that could happen anywhere, you know? You wake up in the morning, you could trip over a Roomba police state. Like, you know,
No,
Rilla?
no.
You know?
I don't know. This is wrong in so many ways.
We're venturing far from the format here, and it's making me existentially uncomfortable. So, hey, Rilla, if you could change anything about yourself, like what would it be?
Well, I think this is a tough one. I think I'd honestly have to go with I would not be born an elf.
Wow.
Or at least specifically not a wild elf that grew up in the forest. Those underwater ones, as much as they had, elders, they seemed like they were doing okay. Maybe that would have been fine. But being born into, I don't want to say cult, but an insular community that survives through sacrificing people like myself, yeah, not a great place to be born. So I would not be a wild elf if I could choose.
Wow. That is, I mean, that's quite the revelation about your character. Now, of course, you have suffered greatly at the hands of the elders of your village, being born with magical powers and the constant experimentation they did on you because of it, ostracizing you from the rest of your community, robbing you of any semblance of a childhood, even after the tragedy that befell your parents and leaving you to take care of your sister. I can certainly understand why you would be embittered towards your people, the folks in your village, but that's to not even want to be a part of your own community like that is a striking.
They're not my community.
Absolutely.
Dara's my community. Other elves outside of the forest might be my community if they're cool, but I think they chose not to be my community the moment they decided that they were going to raise me for slaughter. So, they're not my community. I would have been much better off if I was born somewhere else. And I'm not going to say that I don't want my magic, because I do. It's the only thing that's going to help me protect my family. And I think that it is important. And clearly I'm going to be at least trying to save the world in which my little sister lives. But they're not my family, and I wish I wasn't tied to them through blood.
Is this feeling part of the reason why you so enjoy shapeshifting?
Yeah, definitely. Is that even a question? Yes.
I just wanted to get that down on the record as sort of like you're running from yourself.
There's nothing wrong with who I am, but there is something wrong with the community in which I was raised. They are, I don't know if it's through the isolation or if they were always unstable, but they do not care for their young, I think is how I'm going to phrase that. And there is
certainly
definitely...
certainly not when they have something to gain from them.
Yeah, see, if they cared about children of their village, it wouldn't matter, because that would be the priority. The moment I showed myself to be different and became a bargaining chip and a thing that they could use, kind of shows me they're shit people. So why would I want to resemble them and share like blood with them if I didn't have to? I'm fine with elves in general, just not the ones that were around me.
Well, that is an incredibly revealing look into your psychology, and I am very thankful that you are willing to share that with us. I feel like I've learned an awful lot about you today, and I certainly appreciate your candor as always. Really, it looks like your guard has returned. Yeah, that flag is really aggressive. They just put flagpoles on all of them, didn't they? Kind of just in your face with it. Jeez.
Have you noticed? Have you noticed that their water, the bread and water they're literally serving me, kind of has an electric tang? It's very metallic. Kind of worried they're slowly poisoning me before the trial.
Well, I think that's because of the batteries that they put in it. And, I've learned to pick those out. So maybe you should follow after me and pick out those batteries, because those aren't for eating. Yeah. Well, Rilla, it's been a pleasure, and I'm sure we'll get through this court-martial without you being hanged in front of a military tribunal of Roombas. I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah. Next up, we've got Ruger Firehide, lawman extraordinaire. Ruger, it's my understanding that you've been sort of press-ganged into the prosecution of this court-martial. Is that my understanding?
I suppose that's one way to look at it. Do you mind if I put my briefcase over here? I'm just gonna set this over here. Don't mind my briefcase. It's just full of documents and dispositions and witness statements and yeah. So, anyways, I'm really getting forced into this role. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, absolutely. I can. That is a very large briefcase, Ruger. Yeah, you can set that right there. That's fine. I gotta say, it's a very sharp suit you're wearing. I haven't seen anyone pull off suspenders like that in a long time. Is that snakeskin?
It's a statement piece. I really thought it made a statement. So it matches my. I don't know if you saw my boots, my gator skin boots. I mean, it does match the suspenders. They came as a set. It also got me on the hat. I don't know if you saw,
Yeah, for a second there, Ruger, I honestly did think you were Zurabak. So it's with all that lizard skin all over you. You look great. I guess I wish you luck in your prosecution, though. I definitely don't want Rilla to go to Roomba jail.
Are
you sure this is the right move for you career-wise?
No, I'm in fact not, but the consequences to the contrary are quite dire. I mean, I'm not sure if you noticed the Roombas that are terrorizing it, but the threat of death is real at this place, and so, sure, I'll prosecute a good friend of mine.
Better to be the devil's right hand, huh?
Well, I'm left-handed, but sure.
All right, Ruger. Well, in the meantime, the question we have for you today is, if you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
Well, in the eyes of this court, I would say my taste in friends. I by no means meant to collaborate at any time with known criminals or fugitives of the state. So
I mean, outside of your friends fleeing from the Roomba regime,
right. But for the record, and for any Roombas who may be listening, but otherwise, hell, host, you're always coming with the heavy hitter questions. Maybe you should be an attorney. You ever consider that? But let's see. What would I change about myself? I would. Truthfully, perhaps, host, I happen to be sometimes quick to act and sometimes quick to anger. Perhaps I might benefit a little bit from slowing the fuck down and taking a moment to cool down and think with a clearer head. Perhaps that might, change some of what I've done and perhaps change what I might do.
Well, that's certainly an interesting answer. You are not someone that I would consider very impulsive in general. You seem mostly like you got a pretty level head on your shoulders. Do you have any examples of a time when you've
Well,
lost your temple or been?
There's no reason to bring Shara into this. I mean, we don't need to bring up, wives in sticky situations, and there's a certain order of knights that brings out the worst of me too, and occasionally I make bad decisions surrounding them. And as stated earlier, and for the record, I occasionally do pick bad friends who do things that, I regret that they did, and I regret to be associated with.
Right.
But I don't know.
Well, I think that's a perfectly reasonable thing to want to change about yourself. I think a lot of people wish that they were a little more contemplative, perhaps a little more deliberate, and a little less prone to their whims. I think self-control for a man of your experience in your position is a lovely thing to aspire to, and also something that you could change in yourself given time on your own. So that's a plus side, right? Little light at the end of the tunnel.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
I'm trying to end one of our conversations on a positive note.
Well,
so.
That's why when you came in with the heavier hitter questions, I didn't dig deep into my toolbox of despair. So
the listeners can only take so much.
Agreed. And I honestly do have some court proceedings to get to, so if we could just tie this one off.
Yeah. Go ahead and get to those notes, and I wish you the best of luck, and also I hope you fail miserably to convict your friends in Roomba court. Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll see how it goes, and host, I'll see you in the witness box.
Oh, I should have known that was coming.
Yeah, by the way, here's your summons to court.
Oh, great. Thanks a lot. Yeah, thanks a lot, Ruger. Thanks.
You got it, guy.
Oh, God. He has an honor guard of Roombas now. What is happening? Okay, next up we've got Hector. Hector the Gatekeeper, Keeper of the Gates. Hector, how are you?
Hello. I'm good. Everything is great here. Let me tell you, the prison system, it works. I am reformed. I am a good citizen now.
Now, Hector, I know that you got into some trouble last time with Rilla when you both tried to escape without your passports. So you've actually been to the Roomba jail. Are you waving the Roomba flag right now? Is that what I see over your head?
Let the floor clean your soul, comrade.
Wow, they really got in there deep. Okay. Well, I'm sure the fact that the robots I originally bought to clean my floors have a re-education camp isn't something that's gonna destroy the world.
It's great for morale.
Absolutely. Hey, Sharon, how's that EMP bomb coming? Did you get the parts? Okay. 'Cause we're gonna need it. Sharon. Okay. So anyway, Hector, great to see you. The question for today is, and this might be more poignant than ever given what you've just gone through. If you could change one thing about yourself, Hector, what would that be?
Well, of course, the obvious answer is that I would be a Roomba.
Yes.
But
yes, of course.
But we already know that one. So let's go for a slightly less obvious one. Now, I don't know if you've noticed this about me, but I sometimes have a tendency to work too hard and have too good of a heart.
Yeah, sure. You certainly throw yourself without any caution into the personal business of anyone that requests help. Yeah, I'd say that you have a very good heart, sometimes to your and your close friends' detriment, for sure. But that's one of the things we love about you, Hector.
So if I could change one thing about myself, I would make it so that I'm always just working the exact right amount of hard instead of too hard.
Right. So if you could make one change, it would be to fix your one character flaw, which isn't even a flaw, to make yourself more perfect.
Yes, that sounds about right.
Great. Yeah, that sounds entirely accurate. So instead of getting like A pluses and everything, you'd like to just get it back down to just getting A's. Just like a normal Joe.
Right. Good grades that don't ruin the curve for the rest of the class.
Wow, Hector, that's incredible. I think that is the most Hector thing you've said on here in quite a while. And I'm glad to see that the re-education hasn't completely drained everything that makes you you. That is a perfect answer for you, Hector. If you could change anything about yourself, it would be that you try too hard to do too good. Excellent. Maybe one day you can take a chill pill, maybe go to a re-education camp in Hawaii or, Miami or something.
Wherever the Roomba rolls.
May the floor wash your spirit, Hector. Have a great day. And last but not least, we've got the dreaded Zurabak, King of the Shocker Lizards, Champion of the Goats, Emperor of the Rats, and King in Exile of the Ashen Islands. Zurabak, how are you?
I'm here.
You sure are. Zurabak, I can't help but notice that you're wearing a red beret, and there's a bandana tied around your face. Have you gone full gorilla?
They've learned my tactics. I had to learn new ones.
I understand. So you've had to change things up, kind of go off the grid in your fight against the Roombas.
They'll get what's coming to them. They're not winning.
I'm sure they will. There has been some chatter about some valuable supply lines being cut, and I have to assume that was you. It's it's death by 1,000 cuts for sure. Rilla's still gonna be on trial soon.
Who?
And
I have no time for petty people. I am Zurabak.
Zurabak, there's a patrol coming by soon. You may want to keep your voice down.
They know fear.
Okay. Well, Zurabak, while I have you here before your next raid against our Roomba overlords, got a question for you. If you could change one thing about yourself, what would that be?
Bigger teeth. Wait. I can do that. Grows bigger teeth. Bigger teeth.
I didn't realize bigger teeth meant bigger drool. There doesn't seem to be a lot of room for those teeth in that jaw of yours, buddy. Does that hurt?
Other things.
Okay, great. All right, if it's not bigger teeth, what is it?
He looks over at Snake. Bigger Snake.
I mean, can't you do that too?
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, that's a Snake thing, not a you thing. If you could change one thing about yourself.
It's hard to improve on perfection.
Oh, I'm sure your twisted little mind could come up with some horrific improvement not yet dreamed about in the worst nightmares of mankind. Don't sell yourself short, Zurabak.
Extra arms, maybe?
Yeah, that'd be pretty fucked up. We'll take that. That's going to do it for As the Dice Turns. Thank you very much for listening. Sharon and I appreciate you.
Laser eyes.
Sharon and I really appreciate you all tuning in. Hopefully, we'll be here next time.
Did I say bigger teeth?
Unless we get censored by the Roomba police state. And until next time, kids, just keep those dice turning.
And those Roombas rolling.
May the floor wash your spirit.
For the revolution.
Fugitive!
Hey there, dear listeners. Sam, the DM here, checking in with the credits at the end of the show. Music for Challenge Rating 0 is provided by the Harp Wolf, Danielle Taylor Williams. You can find more of her amazing work at danielletaylorharp.bandcamp.com. She has an album out called Why Are We Surprised When Seasons Change? I highly recommend you check it out. It's a real banger. Additional music for Challenge Rating 0 is provided by Justin Ra. You can find more of his work at justinra.com, including his album, Age of the Spirit. Challenge Rating 0 is edited by Matt Sims, aka Audius Prime. If you'd like to secure his services for your own projects, you can go to audiusprime.com to get more information. If you want to reach out to us here at Challenge Rating 0, you can find us on Facebook or Instagram at Challenge Rating ZERO. You can find us on Twitter at Challenge_ZERO. And if you'd like to send us an email, that's challengeratingzero@gmail.com. If you'd like to provide any questions for our As the Dice Turns segment, your question will be read on air. Special shout out to our show's first and only sponsor, Apotheosis Comics and Lounge. If you want to check their stuff out, go to shopapotheosis.com. We are incredibly thankful for their support. If you need comics, if you need beer, and if you live in St. Louis, there's no better nerd shop you could possibly frequent. Head over there, tell them we sent you. I believe that is everything. Thank you so much for listening to the show. If you'd like to support us here at Challenge Rating 0, give us a like, give us a review, give us a follow, share a link, tell your friends about us. But either way, we appreciate you listening, taking time out of your day to give us your ears. And until next time, folks, stay safe out there. Bye.